Hello. Today I'm going to be working on a hippo mold. There is a better view. Looks to be a mama or daddy hippo with their baby. So let's get started. The first thing we're going to do with any of these cavities is look obviously to see which is the kind of deepest recess. So for this one, it's going to be the eyes. Now, what I like to do to kind of get the pupil of the eye as well as the iris is I'm going to be using a skewer to be able to get the iris in there. I'm going to have to do this off camera maybe a little bit because we're kind of at a weird angle here. So you kind of just stick the skewer in, and you don't even need to touch the silicone mold itself, just the actual dot that's falling off, and I'll show you that in a second. Let me just get the other two eyes in here. Alright, so that looks pretty good for the eyes. Let me show you what I mean by putting a dot. Move this out of the way a little bit. So here is my green. You basically put a little bit on, let it kind of fall, create a drop, and then just touch it where you want it to go. It takes practice. I still, to this day, get the eyes wrong all the time. But it's the first part, so you just take them out, redo them. All right, the next we're going to use my handy dandy soap injector here. And we're going to get the rest of the eyes. All right. So that is done. Let me get this cleaned off here. One of these days I'll figure out some good camera angles. I'll have to play around with that. Alright. So the next thing we're going to do is the actual hippos themselves. Once again, I'm going to use my soap injector. And this one, I don't think that I cut the tip big enough. So that'll have to be something that I do next time. The draw is very difficult on this one. And it takes a while. It should be instantaneous. But we adapt. We continue on. Oh, and once again, I forgot to get the spray. So if my camera person could run and get the spray, that would be great while I'm doing this. Thanks, Melissa. Alright, let me get this all cleaned out here. And actually, what we need to do is wait for this gray to solidify. It's actually going to do that pretty quick. I microwaved it ahead of time. So typically, when you're working on it, less than 5 minutes. Let me poke at it and I'll kind of show you. So it's already kind of setting up. Now, as with all of this, when you're doing multiple layers of something, what you're going to want to do is spray this next layer and make sure that the soap underneath is not too hot. So you don't want to be able to press it through. Like that's way too hot still. But you also don't want it to be too cold where it's been sitting for a half hour because the layers just are not going to meld together. So while this kind of sets up for a few minutes and I get my next two colors ready, I'll be back. All right, so the hippos have hardened to the point that they're still a little bit hot to the touch, a little spongy, but my finger's not going in. So that means we are ready for the next step. I have a blue and a white here for soap. I think it makes a nice water effect once this is done. So the first thing we're going to do, rubbing alcohol. I'm going to spray that on there. The next thing I'm going to do is pour in the blue. I like to do about 3/4 blue, and then that last fourth white. And I also like to have the blue a little bit hotter than my white. Whoops. Oh, it happens. A little bit too hard of a spray. There we go. All right. Now, the white, I'm going to actually use the soap injector to put in. Oh, and there's still a little... There we go. That's the magic of rubbing alcohol on there. Alright. Just trying to draw up some weight here. Now what I like to do is use clear glycerin soap for the blue, and then use an actual white glycerin soap for this here, so that you get the contrast of the two. And the blue might be a little bit too hot. Let's see how this goes. I haven't done the hippos for about, I don't know, Melissa, what do you think? Almost a year?
You feel in order, but other than that, no. Not for a while.
So sometimes you figured a little bit how things work out fully. And I always say one day I'm going to write it down, but that would take time. And every one of these is different. So basically, that is how you make the Hippo soap. Thanks for watching.